So this is my job packet. I had to print a label like this because I don't have access to any way of printing like a more professional or larger sized label. This was the best that I could get. This just has all of my header information that is on my resume and all of my other documents. If I were going to actually use this copy, I would print it a little bit larger and then also include a logo. I just didn't really have any way of doing that right now, but I think that this kind of works for the sake of the assignment and just as a placeholder for the time being. So I'll go through and kind of just talk a little bit about each thing that I've included. And we can start with my cover letter. So this cover letter is the actual cover letter that I used for the job that I'll be starting after graduation. It kind of just talks a little bit about the position that I'm interested in, my qualifications, and then why I think that this position would be good for me and why I think that I'm a suitable person for the position. And then obviously I've got my electronic signature and then my name in print. And then at the top of everyone, we'll have the same header, address, phone number, the email that I use for all work-related things, LinkedIn, and then my personal website. So from there, we move on, is my resume. This is just broken up into like my profile, education, related coursework that I've taken, some of my relevant experience, and then it talks a little bit about my certifications. This one is more geared towards what I'll be doing in the future. This is also the same one that I used. And this includes like my certifications for work and then some of our safety certifications as well. But everything is just kind of spaced out in a way to try to keep everything uniform. I broke up these pages a little bit from how they were turned in the assignment. Typically, I haven't seen anybody ask for a references page, but for the sake of this, I printed out this page for references, keeps the same consistent header, and then it says each of the people that I have put down as references. Here's a bio statement. This is the same one that I used on my website. I thought that it would be most appropriate to just stay consistent with that and only include the same information. This is my artist statement. This is the same artist statement that I used for my show. So if you've read that before, everything should also be the same in this. Here is my press release. So for this, I kind of just, obviously my show had already happened, but I included, a news release, all of my contact information again, and then the name of my show, the what, when, where, and then a little bit of a description about it, and then a little bit of a description about me, a couple of images from my show, the two pieces that you would initially see when you walked in, and then a little bit more contact information. And then because it was done through Olivet's art department, I felt that it would be most appropriate to include a little bit of information about the university's department. For this part, this is my printed slides, a little bit different from my actual portfolio. There are things in this that are not included in my physical portfolio. After looking at these and then after putting everything in my physical portfolio, I had decided that there were some things that I included in this that I felt would be better suited elsewhere and not in my actual portfolio. I really just wanted to keep everything a little bit more cohesive, and I thought that that would be the best way to do it. So while there weren't as many pieces in my actual portfolio, this includes the full number of pieces that we were supposed to have. So everything is broken up with the title of the piece and then all of its information and then an image of the piece. So if I go through them, everything is kind of broken up, 2 images per page, and then you get into some of the pieces that I opted not to include, such as this one here. This one was done for a painting class earlier in school, and while I thought about including it, it didn't really fit with the portraits that I had done elsewhere. Same thing goes with this one. I decided to include this older piece just because it showed a little bit more diversity within my portraits. And then here are some pen and ink drawings that I opted not to include as well. But as a whole, everything fits together in this envelope and is pretty well uniform